naturally, every time I get a bow finished, immediately, as soon as I get it done, I post it for people to see, because they usually follow my build alongs, and inevitably somebody asks within the very first day to post a video of shooting it. This is Kvol. It is an 80-pound at 28-inch gemsbok oryx horn bow. It has ostrich grips. I know it's probably hard to see with the sun and everything. And it has Magnum cartridge brass nocks. They're kind of my own little design. And I'm shooting 950 grain arrows. I prefer the heavier arrows generally. They are quieter and easier on the bow. The bow will last longer. It gets more penetration. There's lots of advantages to shooting heavier arrows. And you probably will hear them rattle a little bit amongst each other in my hand because of the way I got them held. But you'll see once I get down to the last arrow, these things are whisper quiet. This is one of the louder ones for some whatever reason. A lot of it has to do with mass and the tips and whatnot. But it's still a super quiet bow, and if I wanted to put a little string silencer on it or something, they're literally silent at that point. I usually don't have to put string silencers on them, but I do like them when I'm hunting, because, you know, if it's right here, it gives me something to hide the glare of my glasses behind and whatnot. So there are benefits to them besides just dampening sound, of course. So these arrows are 950 grains. They're probably around 12 and a half grains per pound, something like that, 11 and a half, somewhere in there. They're heavier than what you would typically shoot. The rule of thumb is 10 grains per pound. I've ran down as low as 3 grains per pound just to torture test these bows in the past, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's hard on the bow and it does exhibit hand shock at that point. Once you get below like 8.5 grains, then you start feeling it in your hand, and they get loud just like any other bow would at that light of an arrow. I've tested upwards of 25 grains per pound in these, and the penetration just goes up and up and up. You lose range the higher you go. I try to stick between 8.5 and 12.5 grains per pound. And I'm typically shooting bows that are over 100 pounds, so even these arrows, they're a little light sometimes. I kind of plucked the string on that one, but still hit where I want her. But that's where she is. Only a couple people in the world besides me making these, and I'm the only one that's offering them to the public for sale. They're probably mankind's very first horn bow that was ever designed, and I've kind of taken them a little farther than what the originals were. The originals were 140 to 170 pounds of draw, and they only had 14 to 16 or 16 to 20 inches of draw. So they were meant to be shot like that at probably very close range. They're basically launching shovel handles with some massive broadheads weighing like 1,200 grains plus the shaft. So it's pretty wild. They were originally used to hunt dangerous game, and they had obviously seen some use in war, and the royals had gotten their hands on them through trade and whatnot, I imagine, or sacking villages or something. But these animals, they're impressive animals. They'll literally hunt lions and, you know, fight off lions. And the horns themselves, I mean, they battle against each other, and they're I don't know, 800 to 1200 pound animals or somewhere thereabouts. They're quite massive animals, very compact, just beasts. And this material is far superior to wood in a lot of respects. It can last many generations.